Well, ladies and gentlemen, the unfortunate thing has happened. The very inevitable thing has happened. Okay, if you guys pay attention to my channel about 5 days ago, just last week, when the Gamecocks, my Lady Gamecocks, South Carolina defeated East Carolina in a boring blowout. I literally named that video "Boring Blowout." Gamecocks won again. Who could possibly beat the Gamecocks? And look what just happened this evening. UCLA has officially crushed the Gamecocks and put an end to the winning streak. If you're a fan of J. Cole, such as myself, you know his song Deja Vu. The lyrics go, every loser gotta win and every winner gotta lose someday. They say it's just a matter of time, and if I had my way, then you would be mine. That's what just happened. I told y'all. It may seem like I'm joyful about this news, but I'm not. I was riding for Gamecocks. I ain't gonna lie, I jumped on the bandwagon. I was like, they number one. I need a women's basketball college team to root for besides my Ohio State ladies, my Buckeyes. Okay, shout out to the Buckeye State. And look what happened. I said it's inevitable. Eventually, somebody's going to stop them, take their crown. Now they say they just got knocked down to number 5th or 6th ranked overall to UCLA. And I told y'all in my previous video, when I had predicted who was going to possibly beat them, I said, look, I'm okay with it, just as long as it's not no blame team. Okay, it can't be nobody that's not ranked, which I believe UCLA is not ranked. I don't believe, right? They're not in the top 10, possibly top 20, or maybe they are top 10. Sometimes it switches with my Buckeyes. I'm not sure. And I said it just can't be a blowout. Both happened. They got beat by UCLA. In my eyes, they lame. And they got beat by like 14 points. First, my USC Trojans got whipped by Notre Dame, Fighting Irish, and I respect them girls. Shout out to my Fighting Irish. And then the next day, I couldn't even get enough time to, just be comfortable and just comfort and self-soothe myself, knowing that Juju Watkins, and her team, the Trojans, got beat by the Fighting Irish. The very next day today, the freaking Gamecocks get beat by UCLA. During that game, everybody named mom on Twitter, okay, was saying that Tessa, almost said Tessa Thompson, not the actress, okay, the actress that played alongside Michael B. Jordan in the Apollo series, right? Not her. Tessa Johnson, okay? Tall, light skin. They said it was Tessa Johnson versus UCLA. They said, where is Malaysia for Wiley? Her shot wasn't falling. Pow pow. She usually gives us some threes here and there. Again, like I saw her cooking up in the third and fourth quarter some more, but it wasn't enough. Like Brandy said, almost doesn't count. Everybody know almost doesn't count. And what was really pathetic is that the freaking half of the game, come halftime, Gamecocks was down by like 21 points. I'm like, are you kidding me? Guys, earlier today, this evening, I was at work trying to sneak this game in. My lieutenant in my ear trying to show me some training stuff, how to handcuff people, the correct way. I got some training stuff to do. I'm about to be gone for like 16 hours in the wilderness come Wednesday. And I'm trying to pay attention and I'm trying to be present. And I'm looking at my phone here and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe we're getting whooped like this. I was like literally out of my mind. That was such a sad day for me, guys. I'm at work trying to keep it together. When you're at work and you got a lot on your mind, things that's going wrong, things that's just not going your way, like today's game when it came to the UCLA beating the Gamecocks. I'm like, why is y'all talking to me? Why are you telling me to do this and that? Listen, get out my face. The Gamecocks just got defeated. They just got destroyed, and their winning streak is over. There's a lot of blame to go around. I've been seeing some think pieces before I came up on here. People saying like Dawn Staley looks relieved, like finally we can stop the charade. Finally we can relax. Finally we can take some of that pressure off of our shoulders. But I don't believe that for a minute. On one hand, again, I can see her, feeling like the pressure is kind of alleviated off of her shoulders, along with the entire Lady Gamecocks team. But at the same time, like, it was such a brutal beating. Again, like we got beat by lame UCLA, and it was not by like it wasn't like a good fight. It wasn't like by 1 point, 2 point, 3 points. It was 14 points, guys. Okay, and during the half, again, by the first half, we were down 21 points. It's unacceptable. What happened? Is it a discipline issue? Because so and so was no longer here. I'm like, why isn't what is going on with this team to get beat that badly? And thankfully, it wasn't a home game. I guess we can save face there a little bit. We're not that disgraced that they didn't beat us at our own territory and our own home, our own turf in South Carolina. But still, this is still not a good look. This is an ESPN article. It says the defending champion South Carolina Gamecocks had been on the winning side of dominant performances against ranked teams countless times over the last few years. But on Sunday at Pauley Pavilion, the tables finally turned. This article just comes across as hating. It says trailing by as many as 23, the number one Gamecocks suffered their first loss since the 2023 Final Four, snapping a program record 43-game win streak with a 77-62 defeat to number 5 in front of a crowd of over 13,000 people. So it says like they ranked number 5. Okay. My apologies in the beginning of the video. My eyes, they're not even ranked. I'm not like UCLA is not on my radar. They are ranked number 5. So again, I guess you can say they didn't get beat by a lame team, but you're number 1. You had a 43 winning streak. They are lame in our eyes. Okay, we should not even acknowledge them, acknowledge their existence. Who cares about them being ranked number 5 when you ranked number 1? It was the largest loss by an AP number 1 team since January 2020, the Gamecocks' largest defeat since the 2019 Sweet 16, and their first road loss since December 2021. It doesn't feel good when you're on the receiving end of it, but you also know that you got beat by a great team executing on both sides. South Carolina coach Dawn Staley said that was beautiful basketball by UCLA, beautiful on both sides. So she kept her composure. She kept it professional, kept it sweet. She says, "I thought our kids fought, but we ran into a buzzsaw today." I didn't believe they had much fight in them at all. Like literally, like they was just like not only was their offensive and defensive sides lacking on both sides of the ball, the freaking the shots weren't dropping. And it's like y'all got to do something else. Again, it was like lazy ball. It's like at least have some tenacity, have some fight. All I saw for real when it came to tenacity, fight, and ambition and drive, and like that, you're gonna have to kill me to get this win, was from Tessa Johnson. Tahina Powell and Tessa Johnson did all they could with a combined 32 points and 6 threes, but it wasn't enough to overcome the rest of the team's offensive issues. The Bruins held the Gamecocks to just 18 points in the paint and one last fast break point. South Carolina also committed the same number of turnovers as assists, 13, and lost the battle on the glass 34-41. And then again, like people was making excuses. Even Dawn Staley said, like, we're in transitioning period for no longer having our dominant big, aka Killer Miller. Shout out to Camila Cardoso, my Chicago skyscraper. But that's no excuse. During the exhibition game, guys, before the official women's basketball college season kicked off, in the exhibition game, you see the Lady Gamecocks, they beat Memphis by like 63 points. It was crazy. It was like they had 60-something points, or I believe it was 40-something points. Memphis had like 60-something points, possibly even less than that, while Gamecocks had like 102 points, right? And just seeing how they was just so dominant in the exhibition game, same thing with USC. And it's like, dang, in the same weekend, both teams, both USC and both, USC and Gamecocks, they got exposed. This is our second loss in 2 years. So no, it doesn't feel good. But yes, we have to figure things out a little bit. She's absolutely correct. Now again, like the Gamecocks are still the Gamecocks. But they only had 2 losses in 2 years. That's still great numbers, but it's like it didn't have to go like this. Again, like it was such a point deficit. I can't believe they was down 21 points by the halftime, guys. Dawn said they got to go back to the drawing board, and I know she is. I know, like they said, like the next practice that these ladies have, Dawn said they're gonna put them through the ringer. Okay, that discipline, that technique, that consistency. Okay, no more lukewarm and up and down. I don't want to call it out. I don't want to put it under the bus. But Raven Johnson, they said like she ain't got no business being a starter. People are so mad about this blowout defeat by the UCLA up against Gamecocks. I ain't gonna lie, like yes, Raven Johnson, she was sloppy. Okay. She got exposed. She got caught slipping multiple times in today's evening's game. But still, it's a lot of blame to go around. I remember in that Nike commercial with Asia Wilson, the star of it, of course. It said like, you get the privilege of getting defeated by a champion. Okay, like imagine you get beat by South Carolina. It's like, oh my goodness, we got beat by South Carolina. That's okay because they're South Carolina, then ranked number 1. But imagine you rank number 1, you the champion, and you're getting beat by the little guy. It's like King David versus Goliath, okay? You Goliath, okay? Gamecocks being Goliath. UCLA is being King David. They didn't draw back on their slingshot. Pow! Hit Gamecocks in the middle of the damn forehead. Pow! We gone. Just dead. If you're familiar with the TV show, which is a great TV show called The Wire, phenomenal TV show. Okay, it was a main actor, one of the main characters in the show called Omar. He's like a big drug lord, big gangster on the block, right? He's feared by grown men, small men, short men. Everybody fears Omar, even the police of Baltimore. He ends up getting killed by a little bastard by the name of Kennard. Kennard is like literally 8 years old. An 8-year-old boy killed a full-grown man that the whole block, the whole hood feared. This is what it's like. You didn't get defeated by a champion, Gamecocks. You're literally Omar of the Wire of the block. You got defeated. You got killed. You got took out the game. UCLA took Gamecocks out the game. Like Kennard took out Omar out the game. I just know they're going to learn from this. This is a stinging moment. I know it stings. I know it hurts. I know it's painful. But they're going to learn from this. They're going to pick their head up, put their crown back on, readjust it, recalibrate on their teams, the weaknesses, sharpen steel, sharpen steel, and the get back is going to be personal.